Some of the world's biggest oil companies are rushing to sell their multi-billion-dollar assets in Africa's largest oil-producing nation. In the past 3 years alone, oil giants who have operated in Nigeria for over 60 years are selling everything and living. But this might actually be the breakthrough Nigeria has been waiting for. In this video, I'll show you why this shocking exodus is happening and why it could make or break Nigeria's future. This is Discourse and Amazubike. Let's rewind a bit. Since the 1950s, companies like Shell, Ajib, ExxonMobil, and Chevron have dominated Nigeria's oil industry. At our peak, we were pumping about 2.5 million barrels a day. That's serious money. But now, these companies are selling everything and heading for the exit. Why? 3 big reasons. First, the theft is insane. We lose billions every year to oil theft. Just in terms of the numbers, in 2020, Nigeria lost approximately $3.5 billion to oil theft. In 2021, the figure was $4 billion. In 2022, $4.5 billion. In 2023, the figure was $5 billion lost to oil theft. Pipeline vandalism has made it difficult for international oil companies to maintain efficiency in their operations. They've had to declare force measures from time to time and have fallen back on their financial obligations while also dealing with the liability issues associated with oil spillage that vandalization causes. With its attendant reputational risk, illegal refineries spring up in mangrove swamps and seem to be rebuilt as quickly as they are being discovered and destroyed by Nigeria's security services. Corrupt security and government officials facilitate sales of illegal crude to ocean-going vessels who dock illegally. It's a whole mess. Second, and this is where it gets interesting, their infrastructure is ancient. We're talking billions needed just to keep things running. Facilities being sold off are mostly those that they started out with, those from the early 60s. Onshore shallow water and land-based wells, which was before they started developing new technologies for deep water exploration and subsea piping. These ones they are gladly keeping because they were built with recent technology, almost immune from vandals and community incursions, and hence remain highly profitable. Before we dive deeper into why these really matter for Nigeria's future, take a second to hit that subscribe button. Take a second to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. We offer unique perspectives on Nigeria and Africa's economic and social issues that affect you. Now back to our story. All the above issues have lingered for many years, yet these companies managed to continue their operations. Now the next reason was the straw that broke the camel's back. Third, these companies are under massive pressure to go green. Shell, ExxonMobil, Eni, they are all trying to clean up their image and invest in renewable energy.
This is the biggest challenge that we have at the moment as a company. The fact that societal acceptance of the energy system as we have it is just disappearing.
Those old fields in Nigeria are not exactly befitting of that brand new image that they are trying to build.
Last year, we were 60% of the way to achieving our 2030 target of halving our Scope 1 and 2 emissions from our operations compared to 2016. In 2023, we also reached our target to reduce the net carbon intensity of the energy products we sell with a 6.3% reduction compared to 2016. This was the 3rd year in a row that we've hit our target. 2. We're growing our world-leading liquefied natural gas, or LNG, business. LNG is a critical lower-carbon alternative to coal for power and for industry. Demand is increasing, and we plan to meet it, growing our world-leading LNG business with lower carbon intensity. 3. While the world still relies on oil, we will supply it, but with lower emissions. We're designing more efficient platforms and powering them with solar and wind. In the Gulf of Mexico, we are the leading operator and have one of the lowest greenhouse gas intensities in the world for our oil production. 4. We'll offer our customers more low-carbon energy products and solutions. We are increasing sales of biofuels, electric vehicle charging, and renewable power, while also developing fuels of the future, like hydrogen, along with carbon capture and storage. In fact, between 2023 and the end of 2025, we expect to invest $10 to $15 billion in low-carbon energy solutions.
Essentially, they all have the transition to renewable energy and the attainment of net zero emissions at the core of their global policies. With different but somewhat similar targets set for their transitions, all are moving towards renewable power, carbon capture and storage, and integrated gas productions while keeping their deepwater oil fields. So, spoiler alert, they are not actually selling off everything, but the junk. The divestment of shallow water onshore assets by international oil companies in Nigeria presents a complex set of challenges for local companies acquiring these assets. Local companies may lack the financial resources and technical expertise to adequately maintain and upgrade these aging facilities. Community relations might not necessarily improve with local ownership. Host communities might not be happy with the offers that Nigerian companies might make them when compared to what they've been offered in the past by international oil companies. Local companies are not likely to be willing to pay them as much as the international oil companies due to financial constraints and the amount of work they need to put in to run these facilities optimally and profitably. This might result in ugly disruptions at the respective facilities. When vandalization results in environmental pollution such as oil spills, local companies might be more hesitant to clean up and remediate and be more willing to engage in blame games with the communities. But here is where the story gets good. Nigerian companies who are stepping up to buy these assets, companies like Seplat, Oando, and this group called Renaissance Consortium are actually doing pretty well. Seplat has a proven track record of managing upstream and gas assets, including the successful operation of OML 55, which covers swamp to shallow water offshore areas. Oando has a similar track record and also manages offshore operations. Their expertise with projects like OML 122 demonstrates their ability to handle complex offshore environments. The Renaissance Consortium members, comprising of ND Western, Aradel Energy, First E&P, Walter Smith, and Petroline, have extensive experience in managing oil and gas assets, including offshore operations. Their track record in redeveloping mature assets and maximizing domestic value creation positions them well to manage these newly acquired assets. The consortium benefits from strategic partnerships and collaborations that enhance their technical and financial capacity and enable them to leverage shared expertise and resources for efficient asset management. Think about it. These Nigerian companies know the terrains better. They can move faster. They understand the local communities. And most importantly, the profits stay here in Nigeria. But there's one big question hanging over all of this. Will international investors see this exodus as a red flag? The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, says it wants to ensure that as a gatekeeper, divestment is done in line with the rule of law and best practices. Its director explained that countries like Brazil, Canada, and the UK have had very bad experiences with divestments in the past.
For us as a regulator, as an NUPRC, we have always been process-driven. So we have put in place a process that will guide the divestment in a manner that this exercise will be conducted in the interest of the nation and, of course, the investors.
But here's my take. The great oil exodus of 2024 isn't just about companies leaving. It's about Nigeria's moment of truth. Yes, there are challenges. Yes, there are risks. But for the first time, Nigeria has the chance to rewrite its oil story. Will this be remembered as the beginning of Nigeria's energy renaissance or a cautionary tale? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. The next few years will reshape not just Nigeria's energy sector, but the future of African resource management. So, what do you think about this massive shift? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story so far, you know what to do. Like, share this video, and please subscribe to the channel for more interesting videos.